Welcome back to the Garden of English, those of you who tube the U. I'm happy you're here. You may notice that my voice is a little scratchy today, and it's because I've been using it a bunch lately. Like when I spent some time with Ms. Rodriguez's AP Lit and AP Lang students for over 2.5 hours this past week. Huge shout out to Phineas Banning High, go Pilots. By the way, I also sound like there's sandpaper climbing out of my throat because, well, truthfully, I'm a little sick, and I'm still making vids for you. Now that's dedication. Thing is, my doctor said the best cure for something like this is a bunch of likes and subscribes on YouTube, so I guess you know what to do. Wait, did I just shamelessly exploit the fact that I'm sick to gain some YouTube perks?
No.
Okay, today we're going to be seamlessly integrating quotes into our analytical paragraphs. If you've been following me over the past few weeks, you know I've been walking you through different reading and writing processes. My most recent videos have given you templates and tips for how to write thesis statements and topic sentences. And before that, I even showed you how to annotate nonfiction texts. These videos have been for both AP Lang and AP Lit folks, but you can know that all of what I've presented actually works for any literary or rhetorical analysis assignments, not just for those in your AP classes. In order for today's video to actually make sense though, you're going to want to make sure that you've watched the thesis and topic sentence videos before you watch this one, so you can see how all the parts of an essay interrelate. My other videos are labeled and linked in the description right below this video. Now, let's get into some tips to help you masterfully include direct quotes in your analytical essays. Here's a note though, after I go over the tips, I'm going to show you models with the Chavez and Clair pieces that I've been using throughout this video series, so we can see this in both Lang and Lit. The first tip I have for you may seem like a no-brainer, but I do have to say it. Whenever you have the text you're responding to in front of you, you should see it as your moral obligation to actually include quotes from that piece in the essay you're writing. Is it true that you can get away with paraphrasing or summarizing on your AP exam? Absolutely yes. But it would be better to show that you can synthesize your thoughts and line of reasoning with actual text from the piece you're exploring. So you're going to want to do that. Let's go to tip 2. After you provide an awesome topic sentence, much like the ones that you can see at the bottom of my screen right now, you must provide textual evidence. You'll notice I've got Lang and Lit examples down there. In order to make sure that you do this, I want to encourage you to start the second sentence of your paragraph with a phrase that works as a discourse marker for your line of reasoning. What I mean here is this. Just start your second sentence in your body paragraph with a phrase that tells your reader that you're going to segue into an example. Here are some phrases that can do such. For example, take for example how, for instance, and anything like that. You may not think this is very important, but it is, because it's a signal to your reader about how what's to come relates to your topic sentence. When you're deciding to put direct quotes in your writing, you should try to keep your quotes within a 9 to 13 word range. Picture adding quotes in your paper like making a tuna sandwich. You can't just open a can of tuna and pour it onto the bread. Otherwise, you'd have a soggy tuna sandwich. I think I'm gonna be sick. Instead, you have to drain the water or oil in the can and only take the meat you need to create a savory meal. It's the same with writing. You need to only pick out the most important parts of your quote and then integrate those words into your paragraph. Now this leads me to tip 4. Most students just drop quotes from the text into their writing. You don't want to do this, especially if you're trying to pick out only the best words to add into your sentence. Instead, you want to take those 9 to 13 words you're trying to add to your paragraph and do it seamlessly. What this means is that you don't want to be able to tell when your words end and your actual textual evidence begins, besides the fact that the textual evidence will be surrounded in quotation marks. In my class, I call this channeling your inner Elsa, because you just need to let it flow. So how can you do this? Easy. Provide context. If you start the second sentence of your body paragraph with any of the discourse markers I mentioned in tip 2, right after you put that language in your piece, you're going to want to follow that phrase either with the word after or before. The reason why is because this will force you to summarize what happens in the reading around your textual evidence. And by summarizing that information, you can then flow right into your quote that you want to put into your paper. Let me model this for you. We'll start with the Chavez piece that is from the 2015 AP English Language exam that you can find linked right down below. If my topic sentence is, Cesar Chavez begins by invoking the memory of an American civil rights hero in order to present the power of nonviolent tactics, my second sentence would now have to include the textual evidence where Chavez invokes the memory of an American civil rights icon. So I'd write, for instance, before he defines the principles of his movement, Chavez reminds his audience that Dr. King's entire life serves as an example of the power that nonviolence can be in the real world. Now, for Lit, we're going to think about the 2010 Form B question 2, and that's also provided in the description down below. If my topic sentence is, Claire begins by presenting a first-person narrator reflecting on 2 youthful misunderstandings, which highlights the speaker's immaturity, my second sentence would have to provide the textual evidence of at least 1 youthful misunderstanding. Take, for example, how after the narrator acknowledges that the most important parts of her life were her summer vacations, she reveals her desire to adopt a philosophy that she was in the world but not of it, even though she wasn't quite sure what the lofty statement meant. You'll want to notice how I modeled what to do to provide context with the words before and after, so you can see how each of them works to force you to provide the context that's needed to flow into a quote. You should also look at those examples and see how at no point did I allow more than 13 words to be inside any one set of quotes at a time. Instead, I used my own words to link the language in the quotes so that the quotes weren't too long and that my language flowed right in between. You can know if you channel your favorite Disney princess and let it flow, because you won't be able to tell where your words end and the text begins, besides the fact that there are quotation marks. So, next time you're practicing this, you'll want to read your second sentence of your body paragraph out loud. If you can tell the difference between your words and the text you're including, you need to readjust. Now that you know how to channel your inner Elsa, you're going to want to celebrate by clicking the like button, subscribing, and then watching these videos here that will help you with your commentary.